I think we got some firepower on the diamond for sure in the house tonight. And we got Silverdale softball, man, representing Gabbie Hensley, Emry Masterson, and Coach Jackie Freelend joining us here on the program. And y'all, thanks for coming down here and spending a little bit of your time. Busy summer for sure, especially before you two go off to college. And Coach, you're doing your normal thing there. Coach, I think you said camp was last week, so I guess let's start with you. How's the summer been going? Because a lot of change going on at Silverdale with the construction going on, and you guys look like going to get a new turf field before the start of next softball season. So,
yes, we're really excited to be getting turf, and so it should be hopefully installed by the fall. So we'll be ready for it.
So obviously, this season didn't quite end the way the last two did, but you still made it back to spring fling once again, had a chance for a state championship. Talk about these two seniors that we have in here tonight, because we had Ella and Kennedy in here with you last year. So kind of talk about just what they meant to you and this Silverdale softball program.
Well, we have certainly been blessed to have amazing seniors again this year with Emry and Gabbie. And what's really special about these two is my first year at Silverdale, they were in 7th grade, and I was able to coach them in middle school as well. So I guess that's, how many years is that, 6 years? So that's pretty special to me that they've really helped build this program with me. And so their leadership has been incredible, and they're certainly going to be missed next year.
No doubt about that. So I guess, looking at the infrastructure over at Silverdale, you mentioned the turf field. Kind of, when did that process start? I mean, because like you said, I think you said before the show, I mean, there's more than the normal amount of dirt on your field right now. So kind of talk about the timeline there, if you can.
I believe they started with the football field in the middle of May. And it's been cool to see the process. I didn't know what all was involved to get turf down. But they had to level the field and do things like that. So the football field will be first, and then they're going to move on to baseball and then softball. So our field right now is being used to hold the dirt.
As a coach, does it matter which surface, or do you have a preference compared to natural grass or turf? Or
I honestly, there's something about playing on the dirt, but I think practically the turf will be better for us in the long run. And a lot of the girls, you can ask Gabbie and Emry, I think they prefer the turf. And I've noticed too with turf, it seems like a lot of our girls are more willing to dive after a ball or slide. Not that they don't on dirt, but it just seems they feel more comfortable or something playing on the turf surface. We better not ever have a rain out again.
That's true.
That's what I'm really looking forward to, is that part of it. So we're really excited about it.
We were at Warner Park back, right before spring fling, and I think most of those fields over there are turf, so it's kind of transitioning into that. I mean, it's on the baseball side as well, so it's kind of a thing, and I'm sure Coach Rorex is going to be trying to find other things to do in his free time besides seeding and cutting the grass for sure.
Yes. Yeah, he'll have to find something to do. I'm not sure.
We're going to have to work on that. Mike Connor finding something to do. I guess let's throw it over to Gabbie and Emry. I guess whoever wants to start it, which one do you prefer, the turf or natural grass, or does it matter?
Turf. Definitely turf.
Well, why is that, Emry?
Well, okay, I'm a shortstop, so it's true hops, so you can't really make an error.
I love it.
It's great.
I mean, Gabbie, behind the plate, does it matter, or do you have a preference?
I personally prefer the dirt because
I
sweat a lot back there, so it helps me throw, I guess, better. But I would probably say dirt. But if I'm just going off a throwdown, definitely the turf.
Okay, very good. I like that. So, that's interesting stuff. So, I mean, I think in Murfreesboro is mostly grass field you guys played on, correct? So, I mean, you're used to that. So, I mean, I'm sure it's like quite a bit of transition, like on the football side. They got to adjust to kind of how the ball bounces off the field, on a line drive or whatnot.
Yes, it's definitely different. And actually, we played our region tournament at Lakeway this year that had turf. And then in Murfreesboro, since there was so much rain, we actually moved to turf fields. So I'm really glad we had that region at Lakeway to help us, prepare for that.
Very good. Yeah, a lot of lessons. And it's like you don't think that at the time. You're just thinking, okay, let's just get the game in. But you're thinking, okay, another rain out in Murfreesboro. And you definitely play that into your hand for sure. So I guess, Gabbie, you're going to Kentucky in the fall.
Yes.
So kind of talk about that. And, the recruiting process, I'm sure, you hear about it all the time, recruiting, the NIL. We hear more mainly on the football and the basketball side, but baseball and softball is pretty cool to kind of keep an eye on, too. So kind of talk about your process and what ultimately led you to decide to sign with Wildcats.
So it started, it started before my junior year when I started going to camps and really talking with my travel ball coaches about it becoming serious of where I really want to go to. And then it was September 1st where I really got in my first contact with them, and then I went on a visit late September, early October, and just fell in love with the campus, the coaches, and felt like I could really grow there.
Emry, let's throw it to you. You're going to Wofford, so both of y'all are going to be kind of playing kind of close to home, right, with the SEC and obviously in the Southern Conference as well. So kind of talk about your process and your road and what led you to sign with the Terriers.
Yeah, so same as Gabbie, I went to camps, just kind of narrowed down how far I wanted to go, what level I wanted to be at, and Wofford was always my favorite. So when September 1st rolled around and I heard from them, I kind of knew that's where I wanted to be.
That's awesome. So I'm not sure kind of how the Southern Conference rotates there. I think
we're at UTC next year.
They're playing at Frost Stadium next year, so that's going to be pretty cool that your family can just drive down the road and come see you play.
Definitely. I'm excited about that.
And Gabbie, as far as will you guys be playing in Knoxville this year, or are you going to be hosting Tennessee? Do you know?
I don't know yet. I don't get the schedule for a few more weeks, but I will hopefully know soon.
And so you guys still have a little bit of time left at home. I think middle to late August when you both are reporting. So what's on the agenda? I think you both are playing travel ball
Definitely.
right
now. Yes, travel's a lot more softball ahead of us.
So your schedule's pretty much set. But, I mean, as far as, like, how do you stay grounded as, like, student athletes? Because, I mean, that could be tough. Obviously, you got your green and gold commitments here to Coach Freelend during the spring, and travel ball during the summer, and there's also fall ball involved as well. So kind of how do you kind of unplug and kind of keep yourself grounded and still just being a normal teenager in America today?
I think knowing that softball is in our whole life, like that's just a part of it.
Okay.
And so like there's other things and other chapters that will happen outside of softball. So just knowing that you can conquer other things in your life, whether that be school, having a good social life with friends and family, and just keeping not softball the center of your life.
Emry, how about you?
I think it depends on like how you prioritize it. So, what are you doing at night if you have the test the next day? And if you have a test, I'm probably not going to hit. I got to go study. So it's just kind of priorities.
Procrastinators, any one of you procrastinators? Because I waited till the last minute to study, and it definitely affected me. But kind of talk about that.
Are we procrastinators?
I would say I used to be a pretty big one. But over the years, I would say senior year, we got stuff done senior year.
We did.
Buckle down.
Yes, we got it done.
Favorite environment you played in during your high school career?
Personally, Boyd games. Those are probably my favorite. Just because I want to win so bad.
For me, I would say, I'm going to say state. Even like before getting to the championship, just seeing how many people we have really support us, it's kind of crazy because the fields they're close together and the fans are close. And so just looking at our side, even compared to the other side, we have a lot more fans. So that's just really cool to see.
So that was my follow-up question. Emry, it's perfect. You must have read the rundown tonight. So obviously Boyd's the biggest rival, has to be, right?
Definitely.
Is there a close second?
Oh, God. Is there a close second?
No.
I don't even think that there is a close second.
At least not in softball.
No, not in softball. I'd say Boyd's number one and then everybody else is.
So doing research for the show, it's funny, the Boyd's the rival because first career high school home run was for you against Boyd Buchanan. How'd that feel?
That was pretty cool.
Okay, I was gonna say,
that was awesome.
The first home run, that's one thing, but then against the blue and gold, I had to up it up a little bit.
The whole time I said, as long as I hit a home run against Boyd, I don't care what happens. So
was that on your checklist for the season?
Yeah. It got checked off. That was pretty cool.
Gabbie, was there one play at the plate defensively that kind of stood out to you? Because being the catcher, I mean you're protecting the home plate, so.
I think for me, there's not really any play at the plate that's been very out there, but just being able to catch Beta and Ella over the past 2 years, that was really cool to see like their growth and things like that. But there wasn't any like specific play. I would say
she threw a lot of people out
with the help of Emry, of course. We did
there
that
it is.
good.
Teammates to the end, and you're playing on the same select team, so the teammate thing continues even now before you guys head up to college. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Was softball the first love for you two, or did you guys play other sports growing up?
For me, I started with softball, and then I played a little basketball here and there, but softball's always been my first love.
Did you play basketball at Silverdale at all?
Yes. I played all through middle school, and then I played my freshman and then my junior year.
Yeah, you just decided to go all in on softball later.
Yes.
I can hear you. So advantages and I guess the disadvantage, not disadvantages, but I guess let's call it the challenges of being a multi-sport athlete.
Definitely balancing is up there is probably the hardest challenge because you want to, softball being what I felt like, what I knew I was going to go to college for and not basketball. So like I gave a lot more to softball than I did basketball. And so that's kind of why I just decided it's probably best that I chose to stick with just doing softball my senior year.
I like it. Emry, how about you? Was softball the go-to growing up? Or
It definitely was.
Okay.
Yes. I think there was some volleyball mixed in and maybe some soccer and like occasional golf. But other than that, it was just softball always.
She's actually a really good golfer.
Yes.
Really.
Okay, so what's the handicap?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I have no clue. I just hit it.
There you go. I like it. So do you enjoy like miniature golf, or do you just like getting out there on the links and just hitting?
I just like to hit it and then hope it goes straight and hope there's not a pond or a house anywhere near. But usually there is.
That's a good goal to have. Yeah. I like how you keep it perspective there for sure. So
I mean, I definitely enjoy that. I love powder puff, if that counts. But yeah, just really anything. I was always loved to play sports, but softball's always been the main.
Did you
one.
both play powder puff?
We sure did.
We did.
We killed it.
I was the quarterback.
What was the overall? I know you guys kept up with the overall record freshman to senior year.
Oh, we
unbeaten?
did bad freshman year.
Freshman year was rough, but
Then we stepped it up. Sophomore year, I think we got second.
sophomore year we got second. Then senior year we won both.
Powder puff is serious. I mean, it was
Oh, yeah.
serious when I was in high school, but
Broke
it's
my
like,
finger.
did you really?
I did. Coach
How'd you-
Freelend almost killed me.
How'd you do that?
I
Let's just
don't
go
even
throw it
know.
out here.
I was just so excited to be playing, and then I got in the car, and my finger was crooked. So
The worst part
but
is
we
your
won.
adrenaline gets going so much that you
Yes.
don't realize till way after, and you're like, oh, I actually did something.
And I just held my breath every game, hoping they weren't going to get hurt.
What, was it on the throwing hand or was it on the glove hand?
Throwing. Yep. And
Oh,
Gabbie was a
man.
quarterback, so I don't know how that happened.
So obviously you were a wide receiver.
Yes.
That just goes to show the kind of bullet you threw right there for
Yeah,
sure.
she did.
You got to stay in softball
We
shape
had some
right there.
great trick plays, that's for sure.
We did.
So, Coach, I mean, you were probably there, but if you weren't, what was the phone call like when you heard from, hey, Coach, about Powder Puff? Yeah, we won, but got some bad news for you.
I don't think she really told me.
No,
until
I just
saw her
tried
the
to
next
keep it
time.
from her.
Yeah, she tried to hide it from me. I've never been to a Powder Puff game.
Wait a second.
I mean, at Silverdale since I've been coaching because I'm just they're
nerves.
so competitive and go all out. I'm always afraid they're going to get hurt, so I just don't go.
I was going to say, you probably just, you're thinking just, you're not going to enjoy it being there because
Right.
you're worried about them
Exactly.
for sure.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a parent too. You're just like, okay, just don't get hurt, but have fun
Right.
type thing. So
Yes.
that's funny. So Gabbie, you went over the 1,000 career hit mark this year. Another, I guess kind of a rival, but also one that you kind of compete with, going back and forth with state championships is Baylor. So kind of talk about just what that milestone meant to you, especially in a big environment against a good program like Baylor.
Well, catching 1,000 innings was pretty crazy. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And my knees are still intact,
That's
and
crazy.
I still keep going throughout the whole summer too. But I think it's really cool to see that I could do it to be there for my team, and that's how I was there for them. And so I think that's pretty cool to look back and see.
So, I mean, obviously, like you said, you had, I think, Bitta and also, Cunningham catching for those two. So, I mean, what was the strategy when calling, pitches for your pitcher? Do they kind of do that? Do you rely on Coach Freelend, or is it just situational, or?
Well, what's really cool so Coach Freeland calls pitches,
Okay.
and sometimes I'll call them depending on the game and who's pitching. But we really actually we like to say we're on the same wavelength because whatever she calls is normally what I'm thinking, and so that's cool to see that. And so that depending on the pitcher is what we called their best pitch and stuff.
Gotcha. So one thing we always enjoy asking these players, and just kind of pregame superstitions or traditions. And the one cool thing about softball that many people don't realize is the dugout cheers, because you're sitting there, and you're like, where's that sound coming from? It's coming from the dugout. So is there like a pregame superstition or tradition that you guys have to do before you hit the diamond?
You go first.
So I'm going to say what Emry's is because I do it for her, but I always braid Emry's hair the same exact way before every single game.
Okay.
And so that's a big superstition for us. I think for everyone is don't touch the white line or it's not going to be pretty. I'm just kidding. But we don't like the white line being touched. And also stepping on the field. So, like, if I'm warming them up and the ball goes on the field, you'll see me, like, crawl over the line because I won't touch it.
Interesting. Emry, how about you? Is it kind of the
Definitely,
the braiding?
those are the big ones. The braid is big. If Gabbie braids my hair different, then I'm probably going to play bad. So I make her do it the same every time. But
You still have until middle of August to figure out what you're going to do at Wofford.
I don't know. I'm asking if anybody can braid. I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's funny. So, favorite dugout chair? Because we've heard different ones over the last few years since we've kind of been diving into baseball and softball in the spring. So is there one, or what's the strategy there? Because obviously you're trying to get the other team off their rhythm, but is there one that sticks out to you as far as like that's your favorite?
I would say we kind of came up with the cheer. We have during region, we like to call it our postseason stuff. So we bring out a bunch of like toys. So a bunch of hats, some capes, and so that's our thing. And then during region this year, we kind of shook up the pitcher with one of our cheers when they throw a ball. And so we kind of yell at them a little bit, but it's all good.
In a friendly way.
In a friendly way.
Emry, how about you? Let's throw it to you. Talk about that.
I mean, I can't really think of a cheer, but definitely the hats and just like random yelling noises. Really, I mean, when you have the hats on and the shakers and everything, you just are loud, and that's how we do it.
We have a few dog toys that are like pigs, so they make like a pig noise.
Oh my gosh.
It's chaotic.
Coach covers her face there. Is there one that sticks out to you, or you're just like, hey, we got to... I guess the next question is, was there ever a warning from the umpires during any of that?
Well, you can't have artificial noisemakers, so
You just have pigs
in
that
the
make
dugout.
noise.
So those usually get put away pretty quickly. But this year, what stuck out to me is a group of girls had like plastic swords, and they would, they would go sword.
Yes,
when they would pull it
somebody
out of their belt.
swung
Yes,
them.
yes. So that was a new thing this year with the swords. So they came out at region.
Got medieval times going on in the
Yes,
dugout.
there's a lot going on in our dugout.
That's interesting. So what was the picture of, was it a pinata, like a horse or something that I saw from a couple years ago there? What was the, because you see, I mean, obviously, like you said, you definitely got a bag of tricks or a bag of props to use in the dugout.
Yes.
So what was that about?
I think the pinata came about with the first state championship.
Okay.
Silverdale won in 2018.
Okay.
And then it has since come with us at the state tournaments and made its way there.
So it has a seat on the bus, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yes. Along. I mean, we have a bucket full of toys. We just call them the toys. And they come with us. And the glitter shoestrings come with us for postseason. They're green and gold. And the tinsel in our hair. I even put it in my own hair now. It's
Gotcha.
the green tinsel. So there's a lot of, but they're fun, and we, bring those out in postseason.
So we asked these two about superstitions. I think we asked this last year, but I can't exactly remember superstitions for you and the coaches.
I didn't realize
Or
I was
routine,
Yeah,
let's
I
just
didn't
say.
realize I was superstitious until I started coaching. But it turns out I'm pretty superstitious. So one thing that happens in postseason is Brent Raby, Brayley Raby's dad, gives me a Snickers bar before every game. But we kind of stopped doing that this year because we lost our first game in the region. So then it became a superstition not to have that because then we started winning again afterwards. So anyway, it's just a lot of stuff that, that comes out.
Joe, I can get behind that now. I like the tradition of candy, anything food especially,
So nobody braids your hair, Coach, is what you're saying?
No. Well, actually, I do have a braid, but I do it myself. So I braid my own hair, yes.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Well, it's worked to this point for sure. No doubt about that. Obviously, being the kings or the queens of Murfreesboro, having so many spring fling appearances, what's the go-to place to eat at in the borough at spring fling? Because you guys have been there obviously quite a bit, so...
Well, my favorite is, the 2 years that we won, we got Texas Roadhouse after.
Okay.
But we kind of have, 3 places that we go to during, and then Emry can tell you what those are.
Okay, we do Culver's first, right? And then I think we go to Chili's. and then we go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
The rotation's strong there. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So it stays the same.
And you have to
Every
order
year.
the same thing too. So
Really?
oh yeah, you can't change your
Okay,
order.
so let's start right there. Let's just say Texas Roadhouse. What's the order for both of y'all?
I'm getting a hand-cut sirloin steak, 6 ounce, with corn and a loaded baked potato.
I'm pretty sure I got the same
There
thing.
you go. Coach, is that obviously that's true? So I mean, do you get the same thing as well? Yeah, I guess you have to.
Yes, I do. I get I think it's some kind of grilled chicken. I think it's barbecue and a salad and a baked potato.
Oh, wow.
Gotta have some rolls too, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, my
that's
gosh.
On the rolls.
I think at least our team, we go through at least 10 baskets while we're there.
At the minimum.
There you go.
At the
I mean,
minimum.
you got to feel yourself for victory for sure. So, and one thing you also brought up, we talked about the superstitions. You brought up one, Gabbie, from this past year that kind of caught on, and kind of talk about that one.
So at Lakeway, they are basically sponsored by Taco Bell, and so they sell Taco Bell. And before every game, the beginning it started at region and went all the way through state. We got Baja Blast before every game.
We did.
How many did you guys go through? Is it just one, or do you got to go back and get a refill at least?
At region, I mean, it was just right there. You had to keep going back. So at least 3 while we were there.
Yeah, and then at state, we had one of our moms that helped get the food throughout the year. She went and got us actually Baja Blast, and then during a game break, we got Baja Blast and we got food. So that was even better.
Win-win. I like that for sure. So obviously, with just like having a strong, supporting staff or a team behind you, family is definitely a big thing. They're traveling with you to these games, whether it's travel ball, whether it's following you guys wherever you play in region tournaments, spring fling. Talk about the importance of family, especially and now they're going to be following you guys going to college. So for your next 4 years, kind of talk about the family aspect for both of you, because that's definitely an important thing for sure.
Yeah, my family, I mean, they didn't miss a game all the years I was there. Grandparents, parents, siblings, they didn't miss anything. So it was just really nice to have them there. I mean, especially if you have a bad game, my dad's my first call. And he can always tell me what I did wrong and what I need to do better, which is good because I love that. And they were just so special, and I would not be where I am if they hadn't been at every game. So
I'm sure they know all the good spots in Spartanburg too, where they're just staying.
they're learning them. Oh yeah,
I love it.
We're getting there.
Gabbie, how about you?
I would say, like, my parents, they have been there for me through everything, and I wouldn't ask for anything better than what they've done, and they just haven't missed a game like Emry's. And my siblings, they come and support me through everything. But also, I would say at Silverdale, my family's grown. Like, everybody's parents becomes everyone's parents in a way. Like, I can go and count on every single parent that's there. And Emry's family, I've known them since I was little. Like, we like to say that her parents are my second set of parents through anything and everything.
So, growing up with siblings, talk about just the competition, the competitiveness between, in each of y'all's households. Because siblings, you go a little bit harder at each other for sure. Right. So kind of talk about that, because those are always fun stories.
Well, my sister cheers. So there's not much competition with the ball.
Oh.
But I have a 5-year-old brother that I'm trying to teach him how to catch. So there hasn't been too much competition yet, but I think we'll get there.
I like it. Gabbie, how about you?
I'm a little closer with, like, my brother, he's 22, almost 23, and my sister, she's just turned 15, so we're very close to sports and stuff, but I would say I have more competition with my sister just because she played the basketball and she also played softball at one point. She decided it wasn't her thing. She's better at basketball too. But my brother, he was a runner in high school, so not much of competition with the ball, but he did play basketball when he was younger.
Athletic family for sure. So, Coach, talk about, obviously your family being, family of a coach is a lot of, time away, and just kind of talk about just your family there as well. And I'm sure, they're there just like, the players' parents at every game supporting you guys and just doing what they got to do to kind of keep life rolling.
Yes. Well, my husband, Bo, he helps out with our team. Like, he does the announcing at the games and things like that. And he's one of our biggest fans. I feel like one of our biggest cheerleaders for sure. And so he's always there. And then I have a daughter who'll be in 8th grade, so she's getting close to being able to, be on the high school team with us. So that's going to be kind of interesting for sure. But she's always been very supportive, and she's doing her own thing. She plays a lot of sports too, as well as softball. And then actually my parents, they also are at every game, which has been really neat. They don't miss. They know all the girls, and they've been to all my games since I was little, and they're continuing to come now. So it's been
I
really
think
neat.
Coach Lindbergh's husband is kind of in the same position at Walker Valley. I think he does the announcing for the home games, and then whenever they're on the road, he's got some kind of megaphone or some kind of artificial noisemaker himself. So I'm sure there's some. Does he have something like that, like Bo? Whenever you guys are on the road,
he's just really loud.
I love it.
He doesn't really
need a megaphone. Bo is loud.
So as far as your daughter goes, you think she's kind of leaning towards softball more? Because you said she plays multiple sports, but is softball kind of the leader in the clubhouse, so to speak?
It's a close tie between that and volleyball.
Okay.
So those are her two favorite things. But I think whatever she's playing at the time is her favorite. So right now she's doing a little summer ball. This is our first year to do that. And so I think she's really enjoying it and really loving softball.
How is Jackie Freelend as a softball mom?
Ooh, it's tough. I decided not to coach in the summer just because I just needed a break because I do middle school and high school. But I think sometimes when I'm sitting there, I kind of regret that decision. So I kind of want to get back on the field. But it's okay. It's been nice to be a fan.
I'm sure you're like, okay, I've heard some of these parents yelling and yelling and yelling. I got to catch myself from doing the same thing, right?
Yes. No, it's good. I'm just trying to be a fan, be supportive, be a cheerleader out there. So it's been good, though.
So going back to the travel side, you guys travel the country. Is there one place in particular that you played over the years that's been your favorite?
I'll go. We went to California, I think 4 or 5 times, and that was always my favorite because the weather was great and it was never too hot, and there's so many things to do. So California was definitely my favorite spot.
Gabbie, how about you?
I think for me, we actually leave this coming up Saturday. I leave at least on Saturday, and I think she leaves on Monday. But I would probably say Colorado, even though it's gotten a little repetitive over the past few years. But I think it's probably been 5 or 6 times that we've gone there too. And so just going out there, the air's different. It's definitely a hitter's game out there.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely a different game, but it's fun.
We've heard that from various whether softball players or coaches that have come in here over the last couple of years, and they've mentioned Colorado just because of the difference in the air or the altitude type thing. So that's really a thing then.
Oh, it's a mega thing out there.
That's interesting. So we asked you earlier about the sports growing up. Favorite sports teams. And it can be anything. Obviously, the NBA Finals just ended. I don't know if you guys are basketball fans, but obviously it's SEC football heavy around here for sure. So, favorite team.
Oh, yeah. Go Vols.
There's your answer.
Big Tennessee fan.
There you go.
I would say I grew up a Tennessee fan, but I'm slowly changing to
that in.
Go Wildcats.
Go Big Blue, right?
Yes. Big Blue Nation.
And we got we got the trifecta of different school colors here because you're a Alabama alum and you play softball for the Crimson Tide.
Yes,
so
Roll Tide.
How much are you still keeping up with the Tide?
I keep up with them quite a bit, so I don't get down there as much as I used to, just with coaching and everything. But I still keep in touch with Coach Murphy and some former teammates of mine.
And one thing we found out when we were kind of just talking before the show, when the SEC tournament was still being played in Chattanooga, you got to be a part of that. So how cool was that? And being a local player and coming back here, at least playing for a couple years in the SEC tournament here in Chattanooga.
It was really special to be here and play because that's where we actually had the state tournament too at the time.
Okay.
Back in 2000 was at Frost Stadium. So to come back and play the SEC tournament there where my family and friends could just, drive a short distance to see me play was very special.
So, Emry, is there going to be any trash talk leading up to the Tennessee-Kentucky football game between you and Gabbie?
There will definitely be some trash talk.
I love it, of course.
For sure.
Don't forget who you're coming to stay with.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, they're playing Lexington this year, folks, for sure. Can't thank y'all enough for coming down here and participating in this Spotlight Series edition right here. So, I guess, what's on y'all's summer playlist? Drive around the car, or if even playlist is such a thing, you know what I'm saying? So,
What's on your summer playlist?
What's the one song that gets you pumped up, even for a softball game? It could be anything.
No.
What do we listen to? We listen to
We're
country.
big country
Okay.
around here.
We do.
All right. Well, who's your favorite country artist then?
I like Jason Aldean.
Okay.
Oh, we have been actually talking about going to a Jason Aldean concert soon. So I'm actually going to back her on that one.
I like it. Coach, how about you? Is there what's your go-to on your playlist?
Well, this will show my age, but
Alabama?
well, yeah, yes, and
Nailed it.
But I love '90s country. That's what I grew up with. So Garth Brooks is my favorite
In the house.
for sure.
Joe and I talk about it all the time. We love 90s country as well. I mean, that's probably the last great genre of
Yes.
country music back in the 90s.
So good.
That's what I would choose. But
What's yours then, Joe? What's your go-to 90s country artist or song?
Well, I'm a big George Strait fan, so
Okay, King George.
anything he puts out is gonna be all right with me.
Surprised it's not Seminole Wind.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't.
Being a
John
Florida State
Anderson,
guy.
sure, absolutely. That would definitely be on the list too. I've got way too many. Depends on my mood, which will determine the genre that I'm going to listen to, and plus what I'm doing.
Guys, can't thank you enough for coming down here, and congrats on the success you guys had during your high school career. Good luck at Wofford, good luck at Kentucky, and good luck next year, Coach, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So.